Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. I've got two items here that I'm going to finish. So I'd love to have you stick around. This is in fact the Margarete Miller Collage Planner Challenge for week 35. But before we get started on that, my previous video, I think it was the one prior to this, I made this sweet little hidden pocket for your junk journal. And I wanted to embellish the front. I left it plain for a good reason because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to finish it off. But if you, I will link the video to this little hidden pocket journaling card in the description below. This is for my junk journal, and I'd love to have you go back and take a look at this to see how you make it. It's very, very cute. It's made with a vintage Hallmark fold-it note, but I want to finish the front, so I thought we would do that really quick, and then we will move over to Margarete Miller's collage challenge, like I said, for this is week 35. So remember to like this video if in fact you do like it. Leave me a comment and I appreciate it. And I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. If you're new, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And thank you very much for your support. So I'm just going to do this again really quick. I have a sweet little girl right here on the inside of the journaling card, and I want to add a couple little gals on the outside. So I have this one here. This is, I'm going to call her Jane. This is Jane because that is such an old-fashioned name from the 50s and 60s. And this little one is Mary. And they are sisters, or they are maybe just good friends. And Jane is doling out some little candies, and Mary has a lollipop, and Big Girl Barbie has her punishments that are painfully strong cinnamon habanero mints. But I just bought these. I thought they were fun. But they're not that strong. So I'll take two because they have a slight cinnamon taste to them, but they're not that hot. I think a Tic Tac is actually hot, but I thought this was fun. Punishments. I thought it was a fun, funky little decadent case, so I wanted to get those. And I noticed, which I have got to get better, in my videos I'm saying U-M, not yum, Y-U-M. Oh, that one was hot. Excuse me. That tasted like the old Dentine gum. Remember Dentine gum from the 60s? You can't buy Dentine gum anymore. They came in little tiny strips. Remember, I had my first piece of gum when I was 5 years old. My mother, I think she was afraid I was going to choke on it or swallow it. She'd hand it to me and say, "Do not swallow this." I'm like, okay. See, I've got to stop saying I should have a jar on my desk. I should have an challenge and get a few rolls of quarters. And every time I say the word it has to go into the jar. should do it dollar bills. See how much I have after 3 videos. So there is Mary and there is Jane. And then I'm going to be doing just a little bit of embellishing, adding some fun ephemera up here at the top, because I really want to, I like that stamp. There we go. I like the stamp word showing, but I'm going to put, I have a stamp. I'm going to put a stamp there. And then I found this cute little piece here, and it is a daffodil, so I thought I would add that to the mix. So I always try to take Margarete Miller's advice, and when I work on a project, and if I know I want to collage something and I don't want to just throw it together, I take some time and think about it, and I decide I'll play around with a front cover or whatever, like I did with this one. I had to think about really what I wanted to do. And then I go ahead and I play around with it. Now, remember that you don't want to, if you're going to do the top, you don't want to do this so it comes over. You don't want to glue it on like that. If you want something to hang down and come over, say the top here, glue the top half down. And just be careful when you're putting it back inside. Okay. So this will go in like this, and then I think what I will do is I will put it in my book, and then we will move on. I think I'll put this in my yo-yo journal. I'm trying to put things in my yo-yo journal that just little things and items, colorful, that I really like. When I get Liz's yo-yo journal, then I'll do more of, my area here. Now, I just recently purchased, and I don't know if you've seen the new Tim Holtz words, and I think I put it back in my drawer, but let me get them out to show you. These are new words. This is a new word pack put out. It's new to me. I haven't seen it before. Maybe you have. It's called Clippings Sticker Book. And you can actually make little sentences in here, but it has all different kinds of phrases. She whispered it softly under the stars. They gave no more thought. Let's see. From sunrise till the shadows grew. There's names in here. There's a lot of different, with flowers in her hair. That was lovely, dear, in quotations. The meadow sweet, good luck to you today. Francis, there's a girl's name. He restoreth my soul. There's a lot of little phrases that you can make sentences. So I went ahead and I pulled for this particular front cover, I pulled some words. So Mary and Jane, and I'm not going to use any ink around these to distress them. I may do a little line around them. with my marker. So I just have to decide where I want to put these. I have, so maybe I'll start up here. Mary and Jane promised me one thing. I'll do this. Oh, maybe I'll put this here. Promise me one thing. Do all the good you can. So I think that's cute, and I think I will. I wish I had a brown. I wish I had a brown tip. Let's see, this one is a little bit narrower, and I'm just going to outline around this, just so these stand up a little bit. I should say stand out. There. So I think that front, I'm glad that I waited, and I'm glad that I didn't do it the day that I made this card. It gave me a little bit of time to think about it. So don't ever feel rushed when you're working on a project. You know, like Margarete says, sometimes she will do a collage. She'll start a collage. She'll walk away for a week, set it aside. She may not come back to it. She may start something else. But I think when you do take your time and you don't rush, and it's like, I've got to get it done. I didn't finish this project. You know, this has been sitting here over by my television for 3 days, 2 days, and I've been thinking about it in my off time. And I'm, like I said, I'm really glad that I waited. So this is the yo-yo journal that I'm working on. This is mine. And right now the one that I started with, Liz has. So I'm going to, because I love this so much, I'm going to put this, I just want to find, and this has to be a little wider page. Can't be a narrow one because this is wide. I'll give you the dimensions of this. But if you're familiar with the Post-it notes, you will know that it's a little bit wider. You need a little bit wider page. I don't want to put it on that. Oh, maybe I'll put it here. This looks nice. I think I will put it right on this page. But I do like it also behind here on the yellow. So I just have to think where I don't know if I want it here across from, although this is nice, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. So it also goes with that. Mary and Jane, promise me one thing, do all the good you can. I don't really like it there though. I want to do something else there. We will find a place, okay? I think I'm going to put it here. I think that'll be just lovely right across from that. I'm going to get my double-sided tape. I'm going to get my... Now, again, you have to remember that you're only going to put this in the bottom. You don't want to be taping the whole thing. You don't want to tape this down. You want to be able to slide this in. So just remember that, because you'll be in for a whole world of hurt if you tape it all the way, including the top. That won't be good. So after this, with my yo-yo journal that I'll be sending back to Liz to work in again, I believe now I only have, we both do 10 pages. We both do 10 pages. So I think now I have maybe 3 left. And we each have one of these sweet little hidden pockets in here. I made one for Liz originally, and hers has a cute little bow on it. So there's the bottom, and here is the little pocket. And that just slides right down in there like that. And it looks like just part of the page. That's why I call this a little hidden journaling card. So isn't that sweet? I think that came out very, very cute. So now in the book, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 more pages to do. So I will continue to work on this next week. But I think that is adorable. And I would really love to have you try something like this. And again, you don't have to use a trifold, a vintage trifold, but they're just fun. They're just a lot of fun to use. And these Hallmark cards are, just roughly almost 8 inches by 5 3/4, right around there, just shy of that. So that is complete. That is done. And let's move on to the weekly calendar challenge, the planner challenge. All right. So this week we have something that represents summer. We have a list, a pattern with stripes, a photo or portion of a photo, typewriter text, and bonus is a clock. So the first thing I thought of, and I've been thinking about this for a little while, something that represents summer. And to me, summer is all about weather and outside activities. And I wanted to make this one a little nostalgic, seeing that August, we're moving out of August, we're moving into September. September means back to school, cool nights, cool mornings, nice days. And we're kind of going into that fall mode. But I wanted to be a little nostalgic. So I have this photo of my grandma Nellie, to be exact, of Nellie and Ruth. And there's a little bit, I'll have to get this off. There's a little bit of, and that's probably what got on my image there. This is a very old photo of my grandma. This is Nellie, of Nellie and Ruth Designs. This was my dad's mom. This is my dad. And I don't really know. I think maybe there's nothing on the back. This may have been around, let's see, 1920, my dad was born. So maybe around 1928. Looks like he might be 8 or 9 years old there. And you can't see it. It's really unfortunate because it blends in with my grandma's very, very pretty blouse here. She's holding a bunny. And the little rabbit feet, I don't think you can see here. The little rabbit feet is right here. And the ears are just right about here, and the little eyes. I don't know. My dad never spoke about if he had a rabbit for a pet or whatever. But look, my grandma's actually smiling in this photo. Something she didn't do very often. Um, God bless her. Someday I'll be back with you, Grandma. So what I did was I scanned the photo, and I wanted this just to be a old vintage style, and I ran it off on this onion skin paper. And this is an old pack of onion skin paper, and I use it for certain things when I'm creating. So I wanted to, and I did it into a 5x7. So that is my photo. And then the pattern was stripes. I figured I have a piece of vellum here with stripes on it, and I really don't think I would use this for anything in any of my other crafting. So I pulled this, and I thought that I would use this and try to make like a little bit of grass or something on the bottom. I do have to cut this down a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit off each side. I don't want to use my ruler because this is so thin that I'm afraid I would rip it in half. Ooh, palm's itchy. Must be I'm going to come into some money. Did you ever hear that saying, if your palm itches, you're going to get some money? Maybe it's just because I have an itchy palm. Okay, all right. So, and I'm not going to bother putting anything over this. I want to leave it so it's all transparent. You kind of see the images behind here. So we have that all going on. So I think I'm going to take these neutrals down here. I'm just going to rip this. And this vellum tears really weird. It really tears like in a straight line. So if I want it to be a little funky, I have to pull on it a little bit more instead of tear down straight. All right, so I'm going to put that like that. This isn't going to be anything real special. I have my list. My list here, I have a list of ingredients, which I thought would be kind of fun. Pecan rum ripple coffee cake. This I got out, which this is a really nice magazine. These are old magazines. My brother gave these to me, but they're called, it's Reader's Digest presents Reminisce, and it's all old pictures in here. A lot of things that if you do collage work and you want vintage style, look at that, photos or postcards, posters, this is a great magazine to use. So I'm going to use, because this might be something that my grandma might have made, pecan rum ripple, or at least a pecan caramel glazed apple crescents. Maybe that might have been more up her alley. I think I'll take this list of ingredients here. I'm just going to rip that. All right, and we will stick that right down around there. I can put that there like that. And then a clock. So I did find a clock in the magazine here. I thought I would just try it. It is the bonus. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I thought it would be cool to put the clock right in the spokes of the bicycle. And that may work just fine in there. This isn't really round though, it's kind of oblong, right? Let's see, I think I'm just going to cut this around here like that. And I think actually, let me get that white. I'm going to cut this down a little bit more. I don't want that white on there. Isn't that awful? It's just a collage. But I guess when your eye is drawn to something that you don't want it to be drawn to, you just kind of make the adjustments there. So we're going to put that clock right there in the spokes of his bike, which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun, right? And then we have our list. So we have something that represents summer. We have a list, a pattern with stripes, photo, typewriter text. And I downloaded today a font of typewriter text because I do love typewriter text. So my son helped me with that. He told me what site to go on to that is free and clear and you can use them, download them. So that's what I did. So now I can make some fun typewriter text for my scrapbooking and my collages and other pieces I want to make. So I'm just going to age this up even a little bit more. And that's basically it. Okay. All right, let's get this all down. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on the inside of this here. And we're going to get this down right here like this. There we go. Got to give this a little more character. I don't see how it just rips in a straight line. Maybe I'll put that up at the top. It could be the blue sky We could have blue sky there, right? You're probably wondering why I didn't put it on the paper and I put it on the page. Don't ask me. Maybe you could put that. Let's see. What would that look like up there like that? We'll look at that after. And then we have the clock. Say this clock depicts how fast time goes by. The older I get, the quicker it goes, and it's really sad. Makes me sad. One thing I never have enough of is time. It's all I want is time. Time with my family, time to do my artwork. Time is so important to me. Okay, there's my list of ingredients. I have my summer days. I love this font. I'm so glad I downloaded it. There's my summer days. And then I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to play for a little bit. I think what I'll do is take this white, and I want to make sure and I think I'm just going to come up here and I'm just going to make some, I think making some doodles will be fun on this. And this is a Uniball Signo pen. And I think this will just add a little bit of fun to this page. I'll just make a little bit of lacy. Don't want to press too hard on this vellum. It's not really vellum, it's the onion skin, right? This is fun. So you don't need any fancy stamps or anything to use on your pages such as this. And I think here I'm going to just do some lines down. It just adds a little something more. So it looks like it's maybe stitched on there. There. Now, I don't know if this will work on the vellum. It may. I don't know how long that would take that to dry. I'm not going to do it on the vellum per se. And I think this I'm just going to do dots around the clock just to add some on the tire here. Look at the size of that tire. Do you remember the first bike you had? I do. I remember it was an old blue bike and it had balloon tires on it. I loved that bike. There. Okay, that's fun. Okay. So that is that. And I think I'm going to take my marker here and I'm just going to go around this summer days. There. There. And that is this week's Margarete Miller challenge. And let's check off our, so we have something that represents summer. That's my grandma Nellie, holding the rabbit, and my dad with his bicycle. We have a list. We have a list of ingredients for a recipe. We have a pattern with stripes. There's our vellum paper. A photo. We're going to go with the whole photo. Typewriter text. And bonus is a clock. So that's it, my friends. There is another week. We are heading into September. I really like this page. Not just because my grandma and my dad, but I just really like the whole monotone. I love it. I really like it. I hope you liked it as well. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments, anything that you can share with me. I do like hearing about your lives as well. And you know that when you leave a comment, I do my best. I get back to everyone. I always comment. I thank you because I really, really appreciate you watching, supporting me, and yeah, just being there for me. So that's it for this week, everybody. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.